What would you do if someone tried to kill you and years later you married them? This is the haunting true story of Edwina Brown, a woman who survived a murder-for-hire plot only to end up marrying the man behind it. And then years later, she wouldn't survive the next time.
Dive into the fun world of letters with Sparkle Denae's ABC Word Chase and Coloring Book. Looking for an exciting and educational way to help your little ones explore their ABCs? Look no further. This engaging book not only allows your child to practice tracing the alphabet, but also includes tracing words and coloring fun pictures in between. It's kid-friendly, kid-approved, and the perfect blend of learning and creativity. Get your copy today and watch your child's learning journey light up with joy.
Come explore the world of t-shirts and self-expression by visiting In the Loop Radio Etsy shop. No matter what type of person you are, a trendsetter or a free spirit, our varied selection of t-shirts is made to complement your unique style. Shopping at In the Loop Radio isn't just about finding exceptional goods. It's about connecting with a vibrant community that celebrates creativity. So, don't hesitate to visit us. And let your next stop be your best stop at In the Loop Radio Etsy shop.
Looking for custom products with a flair? Then stop by our new Etsy shop at Fit So Flawless Customs. Our curated collection features a diverse array of handcrafted treasures that add a touch of uniqueness to your life. Whether you're searching for the perfect gift or looking to treat yourself to something new, we got you covered. So don't be shy. Give us a try at Fit So Flawless, where you will find your fit.
Welcome back to the LifeScope channel. On your way in, be sure to like, share, definitely subscribe and support the channel. It's always appreciated. It's 2012 in Little Rock, Arkansas, and Edwina Martin is in a relationship. She's seeing someone new, but what she doesn't know is that her ex-boyfriend, Denae Brown, isn't ready to let go. In a terrifying twist, prosecutors allege Denae orchestrated a murder-for-hire plot that would leave Edwina's boyfriend dead and Edwina herself clinging to life. Her boyfriend was fatally shot. Edwina, she was shot multiple times, but miraculously survived. Police were able to trace the plot back to Denae Brown, but the case took a shocking turn when Edwina declined to testify and charges against Denae were dropped.
Tonight at 6, a man Little Rock police called armed and dangerous is in custody after weeks on the run.
Denae Brown was arrested by U.S. Marshals at an apartment complex in Dallas, Texas. Brown is accused of going to his estranged wife's house on March 27th, where he shot and killed her. Marshals tracked Brown to a Dallas apartment over the weekend.
When they got there, Brown attempted to jump off the balcony, but then saw more officers and law enforcement on the ground. A short time later, he surrendered to police. He'll now be extradited back here to Arkansas.
Now, prior to Danny Maurice Brown Jr. being apprehended for the murder of his estranged wife, Edwina Brown, on January 3rd back in 2012, Daniel Hill, 22, was fatally shot and his girlfriend, Edwina Martin, 25, was seriously wounded in a targeted attack at her mother's apartment on Green Mountain Drive in Little Rock, Arkansas. The assailants, Quentin Jones and Ivor Gordon, were later apprehended and charged in connection with the incident. According to court documents, Gordon confessed to being hired by Denae Brown, Martin's ex-boyfriend and father of her 2 children, to carry out the attack. Gordon and Jones waited outside the apartment and ambushed the couple as they entered. Gordon shot Martin in the chest, and during the ensuing struggle, Hill was shot in the head by Jones, resulting in his death. Martin survived her injuries. Despite initial charges against Brown, the case against him was dropped in August of 2012 after Martin, who had married Brown, ceased cooperating with prosecutors. Gordon was convicted of capital murder and attempted capital murder, receiving a life sentence. Jones pleaded guilty to first-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder, receiving a 55-year sentence. This case highlights the complexities of domestic violence and the challenges faced in prosecuting such cases when victims are unwilling or unable to cooperate.
He should be considered armed and highly dangerous.
Despite Denae Brown's not so alleged involvement in the 2012 shooting that killed Edwina's boyfriend at the time, Daniel Hill, and left her seriously wounded, Edwina Brown's decision to marry Denae Brown remains complex and deeply personal. Now, some of the reasons that do come to mind may include trauma bonding. Victims of abuse sometimes form emotional ties with their abuser, especially after prolonged emotional or psychological manipulation. Does that mean Edwina was suffering being in a relationship with Denae Brown and just decided to go back with him, like some form of Stockholm syndrome? We may never know. Regardless to what Edwina would show on TikTok, that doesn't mean that it was all smiles and laughs when it came to her being with Denae Brown. It was clear for some of the videos that I have seen that she did enjoy being with him, loved him. He was the father of her children. So there was definitely an unshakable bond. But at what expense? Because now, not only do her children not have their mother, now they don't have their father as well. Another possible reason why Edwina stayed or got back with Denae Brown, it could have been fear or coercion. Edwina may have feared retaliation or felt pressure to protect her children and family stability. It seems kind of off. It seems kind of wrong. It seems like it doesn't make sense. Just leave the person if they are that abusive, whether it's physically or emotionally. If that person is bringing out the worst in you, maybe you should change the situation up and leave. But sometimes it's not always that easy. So at what point do you stop being a victim and actually become a participant in your own destruction? A third possible reason for Edwina choosing to stay with Denae Brown is love or denial. She may have believed his innocence or hoped he had changed. I can't tell you how many people are out there who think along the lines of changing someone. I even have experienced that. And it's usually to people that you just desire and you want, but you don't necessarily need in your life because they do not bring out the best in you. In fact, it seems like situations get worse, like situations that you don't have to be in. You tend to find yourself being in because you are dealing with this person that may simply just like drama, whatever type of drama that is. So maybe Edwina thought that she could influence, try to change, but when you're in a position like that with somebody who doesn't change and you come with that type of mindset, somehow it seems like they would be the ones that's able to influence you, and you start to behave more like them, then they start to behave more like you. So this is something that happens between men and women. It's not a gender thing. Men could also get lost in a woman, that's what I call it, as well as women being lost in a man. The last reason why Edwina possibly chose Denae Brown is due to legal and emotional entanglement. As I've stated, they shared children together and a history, which may have made separation emotionally and logistically difficult. But at what cost, at what point do we as adults learn to walk away? If you have done everything that you could, you avoided being around this person, seeing this person, don't want to allow this person to continue to put you in danger because you know what they are possibly capable of, at what point do you now transfer out of a victim status into possibly a complicit status? It is definitely something to think about. I have seen some other things that people were saying about Edwina in terms of her character, but because I didn't see any articles on it or didn't see any further information about it, I'm not going to mention that. But I will just say that if those things are true in any way, and we're talking about things possibly dealing with abuse in children, if those things are true in any way, then maybe water truly does seek its own level. So definitely let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, bye.